Yay. We're glad everybody can be here tonight. I know there's so few that are missing, but this is my friend Jen. Wave, Jen. Jen.
She's sitting behind me.
She's on the floor. Jen and I met, can you guys hear me? Okay. Jen and I met last summer on our premier level 5 trip in San Francisco. She is a Lexus driver and has been for at least 2 years now. And she has done lots of branding training and has done lots of training herself on Instagram and just kind of how to better use Facebook and Instagram to show who you are and not just a Rodan and Field salesperson. So I am really bad at posts on Facebook and things like that. So this is what this is about. And I now know how to do Instagram. I spent all afternoon setting up my Instagram account. So I'm super excited about that. And then if there's any questions at the end, she'll go over some things. We went over today how to make email lists using MailChimp and things like that. So if you have any questions about that, she can help you with that. And just let us know. So I'll let Jen start. Just raise your hand or talk if you have a question and we'll get it answered, okay?
All right, well, thank you. And we're just going to try to get can you guys hear me okay? Good? Okay, because I got my volume turned down. So if you all are muted, so if you have a question, there is a chat button there at the bottom. You can click on the chat or you can unmute yourself. But we'll have a question and answer session at the end. And yeah, we're going to get started. So like Kara said, my name is Jen Conrad. I am a premier level 5 Lexus achiever from Central Illinois. We have been Lexus achievers for, gosh, I guess it's going on almost, well, 2.5 years. Yeah. And we were the first Lexus achievers in Central Illinois, so south of Chicago. So it was very, very exciting. Yeah, Kara and I met on an airplane and I noticed her lashes and I usually don't talk to people on the airplane, but for some reason, I don't know, we ended up just hitting it off and I think you saved the man on the plane that had a seizure or something, I don't know. And so then we just kept bumping into each other in Napa and then we've stayed in touch. And yeah, she came to me and said, Jen, I would love if you would train me and my team on some branding. So we came up with some stuff. And I'm going to go through it today. And if you have any other questions or want me to come back and do something more in depth at another time, I'm happy to do that. But yeah, we're going to get started today and we're going to start with branding. We're going to kind of move into Facebook and Instagram and how that all kind of ties together. So I'm going to share my screen here. Those of you that are on the actual screen. Okay, so I'm going to put us over here. All right, so you know what? I might have to move this. Sorry. Here we go. Okay. So many people struggle at the concept of branding themselves. And when creating a brand is really just showcasing who you are. I know that this is something I struggled with for a very long time. When people say, you have to find your brand, you have to find your brand. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, how do I do that? And I had a really hard time understanding that I am my brand. You are your brand. That's it. Okay. So you just need to express the things that you are passionate about. So next, a business is just the actual organization that markets a product, a service, or an opportunity. So our business is Rodan and Fields, but our brand is unique to each and every one of us. So it's the soul of our business, our own business's culture. Rodan and Fields has their own brand, their own culture, but then we all have our own culture, and we all tailor it to ourselves. So most people set out to create a business and then the brand comes later. Before you even had a business, you haven't had a brand and you are the brand. Okay, so I want you guys to think about that. A lot of entrepreneurs will say, gosh, I wish I would have spent time really developing my brand instead of just creating a business from the start. And I'm going to explain that here why in just a minute. Our brand allows us to create platforms to share our big vision with the world and to communicate with others by sharing our gifts. Okay, it helps us to get crystal clear and lead with our values. So a lot of us have a hard time believing that, we have this Rodan and Fields business, but it's so much more. You are creating this platform and this following that can really allow you to do big, huge things. So those things that you're passionate about, you and how you are building your business and your brand right now are going to influence those things. Okay. So I always say, think of your Rodan and Fields business as like the umbrella. Okay. And then under that umbrella is you and that brand and the things that you are passionate about then, and you can take it to the next level. So brands allow us to make an impact. And if you have a platform already developed and you add a beating heart to your brand, not only are you going to make an impact, but you are going to invite people to be a part of that impact. And I didn't really get into my whole story, but my journey in Rodan and Fields has really evolved. And my background is actually in social work. And I actually was getting my master's degree in social work when I found Rodan and Fields. And so I always wondered why God gave me this business and the degree at the same time. And I just always have had a heart for serving other people. And this business led me to an orphanage in Sierra Leone, Africa, where I started going and traveling and serving with other Rodan and Fields consultants. I went there 3 times within a 15-month time period. And I came back and I just felt like I needed to do something. I needed to help the center. I needed to help the orphan. And by me already building this platform with my Rodan and Fields business, I was able to lead a fundraising effort to raise $30,000 in 5 days for new beds for orphans in Africa. And so had I just been building my business and pushing my products and pushing my opportunity and not really talking about how this business can change other lives and really impact globally, I would not have been able to jump onto my Facebook and really make that type of impact, okay? So because I had really focused on building my brand and not just a business, people didn't think twice about what I was doing, okay? So like I said, if you're a business and you're marketing every single day with just ads and marketing messages, those are only going to hit a certain group of people, okay? A lot of other people are just going to tune you out. But if you start mixing those in with things that are that relate to your brand, then you're going to be able to grow your audience and you're going to be able to grow that know, like, and trust formula, okay? And you're going to come across as serving people by adding value into their lives than just trying to sell every single day, okay? So I want you guys just to get like a scratch piece of paper out, and we're going to kind of dig kind of deeper here, and we're going to create our brand core values and our mission statement. So we all decided to say yes to this business for a reason. Our former self was needing something, okay? So I want you to write down right now. Was it relief from debt? Was it more time with your family? Was it to bring yourself or your husband home? What were you lacking? Okay, what were you dreaming, or what are you dreaming now that this business is going to allow you to do? Okay, so I want you to jot that down. Then I want you to think about, why did you say yes to Rodan and Fields? Why did you say yes to this company? Okay, there had to be something that stood out to you. For me, I said yes because I did need a relief from debt. I needed to be able to add to our family's bottom line while I was going to grad school. I wanted a guilt-free date night with my husband, who had just returned from his 6th deployment overseas. We were just hungry for that time together. And I picked Rodan and Fields because I knew they were different. I knew that these doctors did what they did with Proactive, they were going to do with Rodan and Fields, and I got to be a part of that. So I saw it as a smart investment. Okay, I had done other direct selling companies that never amounted to anything else, but I saw the hearts of these doctors. Okay, their beating heart in their brand. But then we all had resistance too when we started our business. And so what was that? My resistance is I had tried it all before. I was super busy. So I just didn't know that this was actually going to turn into what it has already. And then think about, what have you learned on your journey? What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about other people and the people that you've been able to lock arms with? Okay, kind of bring in that emotion. For me, what I've learned on my journey is I learned that the things I was most fearful of, like speaking in public and things like that, traveling to Africa, were actually my greatest blessings, my greatest purpose. And by me just saying yes to this business has allowed me to work on my personal development, which has allowed me to do bigger things, way bigger than I ever had imagined. Okay? So from that, we're going to develop our brand core values. And so I want to share with you guys my core values for my brand. So my core values were, from everything I just told you, leading by example. Okay, I want to set the tone of us being a servant leader for my team. I want them to be able to, I want to show them that living a life of impact is way more powerful than living a life of abundance with this business, okay? And so I always want to exceed my customers' expectations by making sure that I'm keeping in contact with them. I want to generally show interest in them and their lives. And I want to eliminate things and people that are just not serving me or my family or my business. So saying no to things so I can say yes to the right things, okay? Now, from these core values, I was able to develop my brand mission statement, okay? So, or my mission funnel, we're going to say. So a mission funnel, what we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you like a little diagram, but I want to just really quick just share with you. This mission funnel is basically, if it does not fit within these 3 buckets, you are not going to post about it on social media, okay? So these are going to drive everything that you post on social media. So for me, the mission funnel helps us get really clear on our why. It helps us get focused on what we share on our social media platforms. It helps us to not be, really just not to be so salesy, and helps us to give value before asking for the sale, okay? So here is an example of a mission filter. So here is your brand. That's you. Okay, your mission filter then comes down here, and then here's 3 buckets, okay? So everything that you post, everything that you do on Instagram and Facebook and all of those types of things have to fit in these buckets. So we want it to, our lifestyle could be Rodan and Fields, okay? So we're gonna post about Rodan and Fields. We're gonna post about that it's allowing us to have the freedom to do, to be home more with our kids, or to pay off debt, or to go on the extra vacation. Those are the types of things we're going to be sharing. Then you might want to spend some time educating on the actual network marketing structure. Okay, there's a lot of misconception about that. So going in there and sharing that we're one of the most lucrative models, that we are completely legal, just things like that you could tie into, okay? Then you want to spend some time trying to educate and using a concept, okay? So Kara and I talked earlier that her passions her passion is running. And right now she's doing this keto diet, and it's totally fascinating to me. So she could be sharing her journey on her keto diet or her running journey on her social media, because that is part of her brand. So she wants to be able to have a nice balance between these 3 things. So lifestyle being Rodan and Fields, specific to our industry would be what this business model is like, Or she could even talk about being, a physician's assistant, and she could talk about how she had to work so many hours and she was looking for a way to stay home more with her kiddos. That is things that fit her brand. And then her concept could be her diet or her running, okay? So they're passions that she has, and if they do not fit one of those, she cannot post about it. So she's not going to jump on and post something that's very controversial on the news. She's not going to be posting, if she is not we have all these bloggers and they're sharing, she's probably not going to be on there sharing, getting on and trying on outfits and things like that, because that's just not her brand. Okay. People would probably be like, what are you doing? And so you want to make sure that everything that you do fits in these buckets. Okay. And so I ask you guys right now to jot down 3 things. So Rodan and Fields being one, but what is another area that you're super passionate about that has nothing to do with Rodan and Fields? Okay. For me, it was Rodan and Fields. It's the orphans in Africa. And also I'm a military wife. And so those are my 3 things that I really can focus my posts on, being a military wife and a military mom. So if it does not fit those, you cannot post them. And here I put, so another hint would be like Rodan and Fields, inspiration, and then focusing on another passion. Okay. Then you want to remember that all the time when you're on Facebook, you should be posting on your personal Facebook page. Okay. You need to be showing up every single day. Now that does not mean that you need to be posting Rodan and Fields every single day like we were previously taught. Okay. I set up Rodan and Fields posts. So I have before and afters that are scheduled every 3rd day. I use Postcrone, and I just literally sit down and I planned out all of my posts for a month, every 3rd day. So I knew that no matter what I was doing, it was going to get out there, because I still believe that before and afters are super powerful. Then I'm going to be mixing in with quotes that inspire me. I'm going to be, getting on doing Facebook Lives, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. And then I'm going to be sprinkling in things about my family and what I'm doing. And then I'm having a glass of wine in the middle of the day, working my business, and what that used to look like and now what it looks like. Okay. So you really want to be sharing that lifestyle. And again, post something every single day. Show up and show off your kids. Show off what you're doing. Actually, we need to make sure that we're taking a picture right now of us doing our training. So you want to let people in, okay? And you can let people in even more so now than ever, because we have Facebook Live. We have Instagram stories and Facebook stories. Okay. So we're going to get into all of that here in just a minute, but we're going to talk about Facebook Lives. I just got back from, if you guys know Bob Heilig. Bob Heilig is one of the top educators in network marketing. And I was asked to present at his conference a couple weekends ago in Florida. And we kept hearing, if you are not using Facebook Lives, you are not utilizing Facebook right now. And I'll be honest, I'm an introvert and I hate video. I hate live video. As soon as I get on, like right now, I love that I'm talking to you all, but I have you all hidden so I can't see you. And so when I get on Facebook Live and I can hide the people and just think, oh, no one else is watching me, I'm totally fine. But if I get on, I'm like, oh my gosh, people are popping on. People can see what I'm doing. Like, I hate that. And never fails, the dog barks, the kids run in. But you know what? That's life. And people see that I don't care and I'm going to show up like this, and I don't have to be perfectly polished. And when you get on to do Facebook Lives, you should just be sharing about things that you're learning. If you're reading a book, you can get on and read about the book that you can get on and talk about the book you're reading, or a lesson that you learned, or something that you overcame, or why you said yes to this business model when you are super busy. Just getting on and being vulnerable helps to create that know, like, trust formula, which then will help people will want people to know more about you. So I decided when I got back from this conference, I was doing a 30-day Facebook Live challenge. I was taking the weekends off, but I was doing it Monday through Friday, and I didn't do it yesterday. So I need to get back on it tomorrow. But the point is that I got up and I showed up, and they weren't perfect, and I was speaking from my heart. So I was getting messages from people that I had no idea were watching me. And they were like, oh my gosh, Jen, like I have been watching you for a really long time, and everything that you said, is spot on. Or I've been watching you and I've been wanting to reach out to you about this business. Or I've been watching you and I really have more questions about your products. Okay. Because for a long time, I didn't understand how Facebook Live was going to connect me to the sale or connect me to the business partner. And you have to remember, we are a relationship building business. Okay. People join and people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So if they don't like you, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to join your team. So by you showing up and being likable, they're going to want to know more. They're going to be secretly stalking you. Okay. Now, some of you are probably like, okay, so what else can I do? Because I feel like Facebook is kind of dead right now. Okay. So my advice to my team is to pick something else you're passionate about. And again, that's what you can share on your Facebook stories, but you can create a Facebook group, a Facebook community around something that you're passionate about that has nothing to do with Rodan and Fields. By doing that, so let's say use Kara, for example. Kara could start a running group, okay? Moms who like to run. Okay, so she's kind of niched it down, but she's leaving it broad so she can invite all moms in, not just moms from Minnesota where she lives, but she can be all inclusive. So that way, she's going to create this group. She's going to start giving helpful information about running and diet and all the things that she's learned. And people are going to start to connect with her, and they're going to want to know more about her. Okay, so I created a group. I'm very passionate about helping women make an impact in their lives and find their purpose. And so I made just a generic group called Moxie and Grace. And it's just a place where I add inspiration. I get in and I, do some Facebook Live videos, but people are forming connections, and people, again, see me as a leader, so they want to know more. Okay, so if you are not getting out there and meeting new people every single day out in person, create this Facebook group, because that's going to allow you to to build your network. Okay, so those of you that work full time, those of you that have babies at home, I get it. This is a way that you can continue to grow your network. All right. So there are a couple different Facebook pages that you can do. So that one you can do. You also can create a VIP Facebook page, and Kara has all of the tools to help you to kind of show you how to do that. But on my business Facebook page, it started as a place just to put my preferred customers. And then it moved to anybody who had ever mentioned anything about the business or the products, wanted more information. And then recently, I've just been starting to invite more people to my VIP page. And I've done like a hydration challenge. That's where I offer more detailed information about the products. I do education. I also do sales and giveaways in there, okay? Because Facebook groups are going to show up in people's news feeds a lot more frequently than actual personal Facebook pages or Facebook, your profiles. So by using groups, then you can continue just to show up in people's news feeds, okay? Now, you want to be careful not to just be adding people to groups without inviting. There are different tools that you can use to invite, and we're not going to probably get into all of that, but Kara, I showed you how to do all that, so you could do that another time. But just start thinking about that, about how you can create a group, number one, that is completely unrelated to Rodan and Fields, and how you can get your preferred customers and your prospects into a VIP page, which is going to give them more information on products that they may not know about, okay? Now, we are going to get into Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook stories. And I don't know that we're actually going to do a tutorial, but I'm going to just give you some tips on how to do that. So first things first is, if you are not aware of how to do something, you can find a video on YouTube on how to do everything. So like today we were trying to figure out like MailChimp. Like I taught myself how to do MailChimp. I've taught myself how to make, more creative Instagram stories and things like that. So never fail. You can always find things on Google. You may not connect with the person, so then you just click on and you go on to the next one. Okay. So you can Google absolutely everything. But for Instagram and Facebook stories, you should be posting 14 times a day within stories. That seems crazy, okay? But this is not like elaborate posts. This is like us sitting here training right now, taking a picture, posting it to my story, okay? This might be taking a picture of what you're eating. This might be you taking a picture of yourself after your run. This might be taking a picture of your regimen on your bathroom counter. This might be taking a picture before you go out on a date night. This might be doing a video. We were opening a bottle of wine and it was hysterical. And so people love to see that kind of stuff, okay? So it's not 14 Rodan & Fields posts a day. Mix it in, do 1 or 2, but then mix it in with what's going on in your life. People love to see your dog. People love to see your kids. Just show up again. Now, I told my friends when I was at this conference, I'm like, I'm not going to be one of those moms that's going to be like, wait a minute, I didn't get this on video, so we have to do this again. Like, it doesn't need to become a distraction in your family. But if you're just posting, oh, I'm making dinner, this is what I'm making, people will start tuning in more often to see what you're up to. I also find that I don't scroll through Instagram and Facebook like I used to because I'm going to the stories right away. And when you are doing your Instagram stories, you can connect it with your Facebook if you go to edit your profile. And everything you share in your Instagram stories is going to go to your Facebook stories. And then the most amazing thing about Instagram stories is that you can see who's watching you. So you can't see on Instagram or Facebook if someone's watched or seen your post or watched your Facebook Live, but you can tell if they're watching your stories. So that's also a powerful reach out tool. So with Instagram, and even Facebook, honestly, anymore, because you can do real-time stuff in your stories. You want to remember that your post should be quality over quantity, okay? You want to make sure that you're interacting with those that engage on your posts. And so we were talking about that earlier and how bad we are when someone leaves a comment on one of our posts. Well, you have to think of it this way. If you started a conversation with someone out on the street and they're like, "Hi, how are you?" and you don't answer, that's the same thing, okay? This is a chance for you to engage. And so if someone posts something about, under one of your posts, make sure you're thanking them and you're starting a conversation, okay? Don't just do a like or a comment or a heart or just a heart. You want to actually comment and have a conversation. Another really good tool to kind of build your Instagram following is to go and find 3 people and like 3 of their posts and like 3 of their comments daily, okay? Or do 3 likes and post 3 comments daily, okay? Because they're gonna be like, who's this person? And then they're gonna go and see you, and then they're gonna wanna follow you, okay? The cool thing about Instagram is you don't have to, most people, you should have a public profile, that's first and foremost, because you have 5 to 7 seconds to for someone to decide if they want to follow you or not. And so if you have a private profile, they're going to be like, no, not gonna follow, because they have to wait for you to approve it and all of that, okay? So make sure it's public, and you want to make sure then that if you're going out and you're looking for different people, so for me, like I am a military wife, so Marine wife, Navy mom. So I would maybe want to search hashtags like that, and then I'm going to like and comment on those types of people because I know those people need the opportunity, okay? So the goal is to kind of get connected with them. Get out there and add new likes. You're not going to go to Facebook jail like we used to when we started adding people or messaging people that we didn't really know, okay? So just start engaging. Start right where you are and start engaging. Okay. And then they recommended if you really want to grow your Instagram, block out an hour a day and just go searching. Like I said, find a hashtag. Maybe you have a German Shepherd puppy like me, and you want to connect with other German Shepherd owners, then you would just search that hashtag. So I just want to talk to you guys a little bit. I'm going to show you mine. This is my profile here. Okay. And you want to make sure that you have a profile picture. It should be really your headshot, but I felt like this was very on brand for me. So I posted this picture of this little girl from Africa and myself. Okay. So when people see that, they see me. Then this should be your first and last name. You are the brand. So it should not be Mom to Angel Wings or whatever like that. It should be your first and last name. Okay. And if it's taken, you can always add the real Jen Conrad, the official Jen Conrad, put a space in the end, something like that. Okay. But you are the brand. And then you want to come down here and you want to share who you are and what you stand for and why they should connect with you. Okay. So who I am a Marine wife and a Navy mom and a world changer. And what I do is I help women make an impact in life and in business. And then I'm inviting them to connect further with me through a link here. Okay. And so I'm going to show you that here in just a minute, how you can actually get more than one link. But this link then is going to take them to connect with you further. Okay. Now these right here are a new tool, and Kara learned how to do these today. These basically are file systems for your stories. Okay. Now I can't really show you this on my laptop because Instagram is a mobile platform. Okay. And so it's designed to be done on a mobile device, but you can do it on an iPad as long as you download the cellular app. And so basically, once you post into your stories, 14 times a day, you're going to be able then to file them into little sections. And so I picked some of my top things that would be my buckets. And here are tips. So I'm going to give you inspirational tips, real life. I'm showing you, I don't know, me waking up on a Saturday morning with my dog sitting on me with messed up hair. That's where the real stuff goes. Then I have lots of Rodan and Fields things. So people can go and they can click through and they can see the before and afters, and they can see, some testimonies, and they can see some facts and things like that. Then I'm going to have just a thing on marriage, things I'm doing with my husband, sitting out, having a bonfire, going out on a date, maybe it's us connecting via Zoom or Skype or whatever. So I'm sharing that. And then I like to share books that I'm reading. So if I'm doing a morning devotional and I really find something powerful, I'm going to take a picture of it, put it in my story, and then I'm going to file it in here. So your story goes away within 24 hours, but when you file it, it stays forever, okay, until you delete it. But I'm actually going to see here. I'm going to pop this out here. I'm going to show you. Sorry, guys. So you can view Instagram from a laptop, but you can't do much than edit your profile. And so here you can see, when you click on these are to view people's stories. So here we had sushi today. So let me see. And then last night we went to the 10-year celebration for Rodan and Fields. And so I'm just posting things. They're not clear. I didn't spend time editing them. I'm just putting them up there. Okay. But people can get a glimpse into your life. They love this. It's like your own reality TV show. Okay. And here is us last night. And so people are like, oh my gosh, they're having so much fun. There's a wide variety of ages. I could do this. And then here we were working on some branding stuff today. We went and had lunch, had sushi, and there's that. Okay. So you can go and then you can do the same thing. You can look at other people's stories. It's kind of addicting. But then again, it's how people are communicating. Okay, people go to your stories first and foremost. So I challenge you guys to first go and find me on Instagram and follow me, and I will follow you. And then you can take a look at my different, I don't know if it's gonna let me. Can you see me? You can't, oh, I'm sitting here talking. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, your page froze. There you go.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm sitting here talking. And I'm like, oh. Okay, hang on. Gosh, guys, hang on. Okay, well, your challenge was to go find me on Instagram and follow me. But I was showing you guys stories and how you can view them and what they look like. And yeah. And they're just like, they're a hot mess. They're not clear. I'm not taking time to really edit them. That's more for your Instagram profile, okay? So these, I take a little more time to edit. I try to stay, I like a softer look. But I'm mixing it up here. So you see, I'm not putting, not everything's Roadian and Fields. Okay, not everything is my family. Not everything is a quote. I'm really giving a wide variety, but everything's kind of telling a story. So if you click on something, you're going to get a story with it, and that's what it is. You're going to be a professional. This is a place to showcase your stories. Okay, so people are going to be able to read about how meaningful this picture is, and this took place in Africa, in Iraq. And then here we went and we spent the day with AJ's grandpa. And, here I threw in a Roadian and Fields post, okay? So you want to make sure you're not just putting a one line, that you're really kind of digging deeper. Kara was doing a post today, and she's like, okay, I have my one line. And I'm like, but now what? So you want to continue to, you want to dig deeper. Okay. And so this was really cute. This was a photo that was taken. I got to be on the Prescription for Change here in Chicago. And so I talked about that. And I talked about how I never had any idea that when I said yes to skincare, I'd get to do things like this. And so I talked about it being the vehicle. Okay. And then you want to make sure you're using hashtags. And these hashtags should be relevant to whatever you're posting. So I did Roadian and Fields. I did Build On. I did Chicago. I did Impact. Okay. So anyone who's searching for Roadian and Fields is going to see this post come up. Okay. And then, I'm just mixing it in again. Okay, so these are the times, you don't have to post in real time. And I think that's one thing that we're doing before we had the stories. So now you want to pick just one or maybe two a day that you're going to share. And maybe you are going to share it to your Facebook too. Okay, but you don't have to. But you want to make sure that you are posting, so here, Marine Wife. The hashtags are super, super important on Instagram. Not so much on Facebook, but Instagram for sure. Okay. So now, since I clicked on that hashtag, these are all people who've used Marine Wife hashtags. Okay. Trying to think what else. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to stop right at this point and see if you guys have specific questions about Instagram stories, and maybe the Facebook groups, and then we'll go from there and see where else we want to kind of put our time and attention to. So if you want to unmute, there is, I think in the right-hand corner, it'll say unmute, or you can type in the chat. Are there questions about any of that kind of stuff that we had just talked about? Instagram. Let's see. Anybody? I unmuted you, so just talk. No? Does that make sense? Those of you that are on? Mary, does that make sense? Yeah. Mary, does that make sense? Yeah.
And so I don't know if you guys are on Instagram right now, but you can look at my profile. Or you can't see that, can you? The buttons on there as well, and how to make the pictures so you can make those buttons. Trying to really personalize it. So it's you. I learned how to do all that. So once it's done, I can help you each individually set that. If you want.
I wanted to talk about Linktree.
Yeah, talk about Linktree.
So there is this website. I'm going to share my screen again. And so right now with Instagram, you can only share one link at a time, which is you can only share on Instagram one link at a time. So there is this website called Linktree. And if you type in Linktree, let's go to Wikipedia. That's not what I want. It's link, linktr.ee. And what it does is it allows you then to display multiple links. Okay, so when we were setting Kara's up today, we put her Meridian Field solution tool. So this is what it looks like when they click on my link now in my Instagram. So I have my website, I have join my online community, I have my adoption donation link, join my VIP skincare, and then grab my reading list. Okay, so these are ways that people can connect with me. We did Kara's, we did her Meridian Field solution tool. She'll go in there and she'll put her VIP page in there. And then when she creates her other group, she'll put her other group in there. So there'll be different ways for people to connect with her. So after you set up your Linktree, then you're going to have this link right here. And you're literally just going to go and put it on your Instagram where it says profile. On your profile where it says website. Okay, so right here, this is my Linktree. So when they click on it, this is what they're going to see. And then they can go and look at more. Okay? So it's going to take them to that next place. Here, this would go into my community on Facebook. Okay? Which looks kind of weird on here, but let's see. Somebody has a question. No. Okay. So that is Linktree. We used Canva, canva.com. So if you don't know Canva, Canva is amazing for everything. And I was showing Kara a place to go and get free downloadable images. So like I have here. What is that called again?
Unsplash?
The Unsplash, unsplash.com. You can go and you don't have to pay for any of the graphics. So I use them for a lot of them on my website, but then like this is from Unsplash, this is from Unsplash. You don't pay for anything, and they're really crystal clear photos, okay? And so if you are creating a Facebook group, I know this sounds kind of silly, but you want to use the Twitter post template right here. It's going to fit perfectly as the cover photo for a Facebook group. Okay, so if you're going to create your Facebook VIP group or your group that has nothing to do with Meridian and Fields, you would just click on this Twitter post and you can create a graphic that would go at the top. Okay, so you literally would just pick one of these that you like. I think we had trouble with this one, didn't we?
We did.
And then I just have different pictures that are uploaded, and I can drag and drop. I promise it works. Oh my goodness. See?
Jinxed you.
Okay, well, it does work, I promise, but there.
Now you have 10 of them.
But Canva, get on there and play. Oh, I don't even. There we go. Okay, so then I can change my the color of my font and all of those types of things. Okay, and then literally you just download it and then you upload it into your Facebook at the top, that cover photo. Okay, but I also do all of my graphics for my team in here, like my shout outs. This is one I did for my team that was like my top 3 directs. You know, I do lots and lots of things on Canva. Super easy, drag and drop. And yeah, there is that. You can make logos, anything and everything in here. So let's see. Okay, I do want to go back to this, your bio. We talked about that. Mom. We're in this small room and like water running and everything. Okay. So your bio, just make sure that you only get a few characters to describe yourself. So you want to make sure that you really get concise on who you are and add in emojis. Emojis, I think, are everything. You know what, Kara? We can call up yours on here. Let me do that. Kara worked hard on hers today. You can see her cool little graphics she did today. Oh, you have a T there. Do you see that?
I do.
That. Oh, that's weird. You have like...
It's all messed up. Look at that.
Okay, so sometimes it displays funny, but you can see it's super cute with her little emojis, and she did her things right here. And then we noticed that every other one of hers has been like an inspirational quote and then a picture. Okay, so you can do that where you can purposely have one that's white and do a checkerboard. It looks really cool. So we got her all set up today on that. So if you don't follow her, you want to make sure you do that too. Trying to think. Okay. All right, you guys, this is your time. So I want you guys to ask questions. And everybody's so quiet.
Mary, do you have any questions on Instagram?
Where did you make those little circle things? Those, like where your Kara, yours is the inspiration, family, skin, and running.
Anybody have questions? Mary, I can't. Could you hear her? Mary, did you have a question?
I did. I'm not on mute, so maybe I can type.
Now you can.
So you have circle things at the bottom. How do you put those in?
Oh, the circles on the bottom on Instagram. So the circles, we just created them in Canva. And how did you get them to your Instagram? Did you send them to your phone?
I messaged them to myself on Facebook Messenger and then saved them on my phone.
And then, so what you do is there is a little camera at the top for your stories to add to your stories. You add it to actual story, and then you're going to hit, I think it was a heart, and it says highlight, and it will actually bookmark it then for you right underneath your profile. Anybody else? Does that make sense with the brand though? How you just don't want to make sure that you're just not leading with Meridian and Fields. Like you really want to make sure that you're making it personal.
This is Anne Marie. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I've been using the Instagram stories, and it is so awesome.
Yeah.
You can really reach a lot of people that don't interact at all on Facebook.
Right.
So I think that that's really valuable to get on board with that.
Well, and the other thing that I didn't say is so last time we were running in Fields, you can hashtag Instagram stories, and so when you are doing like hashtag Instagram stories, or you are, you can actually put a location there too. And so then you can appear in, we ended up appearing in the Meridian story. And then we ended up in the Mount Prospect story. So then I saw 180 people view my story. Okay. So yes, it's a very valuable tool to be using if you're not using stories. And if anything, posting as much as you can every day, and making sure it's going to your Facebook stories as well, I think is one of the most powerful tools right now.
Stacey, do you have any questions on anything?
No?
Jen, I have a question for you. This is Anne Marie again.
Yeah.
I know that we have to be, I follow Bob Heilig too. I get a ton of value from him, and I know he's really big on live videos and doing them with generic content to kind of show yourself as an expert, but at the same time, I know we have to be careful with compliance and not talking specifics about our products and
Right.
stuff. I know I've done a couple, but wondering if you have other ideas of like topics.
Yep. So anything that you're learning, anything you're reading about, so you can do like the Facebook Lives more about products in an actual VIP group. But yes, if it's openly on Facebook, we have to be careful. But Facebook Lives are really anything that you are learning. So last week I talked about fear and how fear can hold you back. Then I talked about, kind of just belief in yourself. I was reading a book, How a Red Girl Wash Her Face. It's full of topics to talk about. Every chapter has something different, and then it gives you discussion points. So get on there. If you're doing a Bible study and something really resonates with you, jump on and talk about that. I know for a long time I didn't do Instagram or Facebook Live because I felt like I don't know what to talk about. What are people going to find interesting? And honestly, people just want to hear from you. They want to hear your take on things. They want to hear, yeah, me too. Like, I'm afraid a lot of times that I won't do this, okay? And I talked about how fear could have held me back in so many areas and how I overcame that. So I suggest as you're planning out and marking out your brand, really think about some things that would fit under that brand that you can talk about. Again, I'm going back to Kara. So Kara's talking about running, talking about her keto diet. She can go on and educate in very small ways about those things and about how it helped her. So then she gets people who want to know more, have a conversation. So it doesn't have to be elaborate, and it should honestly be no longer than probably about 7 minutes because people lose interest. And a lot of people are going to watch the replays too. So the most important thing also with Facebook Live is leave people with a call to action. So a call to action would be post below where you're tuning in from. Post if you're watching the replay. Post what you found most valuable. Post something, tell me something that maybe you were afraid to do, or something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what about skincare topics? I do a lot of personal development stuff too, but I always kind of struggle a little bit more with
talk
skin.
about hydration and the importance of hydration for your skin. You could talk about, retin A and what, our retin A, what that's like. I'm trying to think what else you could talk about. Right now we have the roller. We talk about what is our roller, why do we use it. But again, when you focus solely on our skincare, then you're going to tune out a lot of people who may be watching you otherwise too. Okay, so you want to make sure you mix it up, maybe once a week. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to get on and do a 30-day Facebook Live challenge, but if you want to do it and put it afraid and just start doing it, I suggest throwing yourself in there and doing that. You want to make sure you're showing up at least a couple times, and you probably at least once a week doing a Facebook Live. But you don't want everyone to be skincare specific. You could talk about the importance of sunscreen and it being, skin cancer awareness month. Does that make sense?
Yes. Kara, I think maybe there's a lot of like feedback and echoing. I don't know if it's because you guys are in the same room. Maybe you could mute or something.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, there we go. Is that better? Is that better, Anne Marie?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay. Do you have anything you want to close up with then, Kara? I'll mute and you can.
Okay. I'm glad. I hope you guys found this somewhat beneficial. I said, I've been working with Jen all day today. Kind of have a new sense of what I should be doing to kind of capture more of my network that isn't, following me. So I'm excited to get home and really work on my Instagram, play around with Canva some more. Like I said, Mary, I can help you make those buttons. We can call and chat. I can help you go over to make those buttons and how to do it on Canva. But Jen, she's here. You know, you can log on with her on her Facebook page or text her on Instagram, and she'd be happy to help you guys. Jen's done a lot for me. Just like I said, we've been sitting in this hotel room all day today, watching the sun come up and now go down. Really trying to go outside of my comfort zone and see what happens with my business. And hopefully I can help you all do the same with yours. So you sure nobody has any other questions or wants her to go over anything else? So Stacy, Lisa, Marie, Starla, anybody have any questions?
Can you hear me, guys?
Where to go to? She knows
Kara,
Bob Hyland personally. She got to shake his hand.
I got to hug him a couple times.
And hug him.
Kara, can you hear me?
So I was here at the Chicago event last night. It was great. I know some of you saw some pictures. I haven't put much up yet, but Sarah Robbins was there and her husband. Got to say hi. But you know, if you have a chance to go to a corporate event, go, because you never know who's going to show up. They kind of led towards what's coming in the future without necessarily letting any cats out of the bags about what the new products are, any new programs that are coming, but it could really see the light as to where this company is going. We've been here for 10 years and we've had some amazing advancements in these 10 years, and they're super excited for what the next 10 years ahead of us holds. So push now, start, you know, really recruiting, start building your teams, because there is a lot that's going to be laid down here. Just even in the next couple of months, they said. There's a lot coming, lots of building on the corporate side to then pass things down to us. So Stacy, you have a question. Unmute yourself. I'll mute me.
She's unmuted. Stacy, go ahead.
Now? No.
Stacy?
Can you hear me at all?
Yep, now I can. Stacy, we heard you fine. You're unmuted. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I have a question about the new Facebook algorithms. What is your best suggestion, Jen, on how to try to get ahead of that?
Okay, so you want to be making sure that you're showing up every single day. You want to make sure that you are not posting things that have links in them, like in your direct. I'm going to mute you. There you go. Okay, so you want to make sure you're not posting things like with a website that takes people outside of Facebook. Like we were posting like a giveaway or something, or I don't know, we were posting some type of a link to something today, and you want to make sure you put that in the comment section, because that's going to show up. You also want to make sure, I'm telling you guys, Facebook groups are the way to go. They are going to show up way more often. Only about 2% of people actually see your Facebook stuff unless they're coming to your page, okay? So get going on those Facebook groups. It's one of the hottest growing tools that you can use on Facebook. And again, Facebook stories are going to appear more often. So if you show up and you're constantly showing up, then people are going to get used to seeing you, okay? And they're going to be like, well, I didn't see Jen today, so I'm going to go check on what's going on, you know? So that's how to get around the algorithm. It's honestly just to be adding value, you know, really focusing on 1 or 2 good posts a day and not a whole lot more. And there's no real truth to anything about time of day, or if you don't use like an automatic poster like Postcrone. My advice on that is I'd rather post it and forget about it than not be posting at all. And I think it paralyzed a lot of people when they started to hear, because they worked. And what I used to do is I used to plan out all of my posts for a week on a Sunday night. And I had them going automatic posters. And then people started freaking out like their posts weren't going to get seen. Well, you have to remember that a lot of people aren't going to be showing up on your profile, liking and commenting, other than Rodan and Fields consultants, on your Rodan and Fields posts. But you need to make sure you're still showing up with those posts. Okay. But think of something else that you're passionate about and share about it. My mom, she's sitting here, she's in her 60s, and she did a Facebook Live, and she got so many people interacting with her the other day. And so right then, you're getting 100 people or more to interact with you at one time. Not and maybe initially when you go live, but when they watch the replay. Okay. Also, they're going to be showcased right at the top when you go live. And I know it sounds scary, and I know you feel like you probably have nothing to add of value, but you do. And one thing I learned at Bob's conference was that by me not showing up on Facebook Live, I was actually being selfish because I wasn't sharing the knowledge that I had with other people. And it may have led to someone saying yes to the opportunity because they connected with one thing that I said. Okay. Remember, you're not talking to everybody when you go on to Facebook Live. You're talking to one person. Okay. That one person that needs to hear it. And so if something's holding you back in your business, like Facebook Live, which is super scary, or starting a Facebook group or something like that, and you're like, gosh, I have nothing. No one's going to want to find value in this. No one's going to find value in this. I'm just going to be wasting my time. If you're thinking like that, then that's how it's going to end up. But if you go into it thinking, yes, I do have something to add, people do want to hear what I'm learning, and they want you to share those things, okay? So my best advice is just show up every day and get away from the copying and pasting from other people, especially on the same day. Like right now, today, like I'm scrolling through Facebook and I'm like, oh my goodness, like everybody has the same post with the ruler. You want to find a unique picture and make it different. That's my advice.
Great. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Anybody else? Okay, so I would suggest going forward, your homework assignments would be to really sketch out what defines you. What would those 3 buckets be? Rodan and Fields, and then what other 2 things do you really want to show up on your social media? And then you want to make sure that you are coming up with a consistent posting schedule. So maybe you're going to be like me, and every 3rd day you're going to post a before and after picture. Okay. Or something Rodan and Fields related, or a tool or a product you're going to showcase every 3rd day. And then fill it in with other things. But just really making sure that you're taking the time to comment when people comment back when people are commenting.
I have a question in regards to posting.
Yep, go ahead.
Is there a best time to post things like that? No.
No, I don't think so. I think that's all just kind of like hearsay. I feel like I probably get better engagement like on live videos if I'm doing it like an evening on a Sunday, opposed to if I'm doing obviously at 9 or 10 o'clock because people are at work. But that doesn't mean a lot of people are going to watch your videos, later at when they're at home. I feel like when I would set up my posts though, I would always do something in the morning, at lunch break, and at the end of the day, because you knew that in the morning, the first thing people do is check their phone. The second thing they do, they're on their lunch break, they're catching up. And then at the end of the day, they're overwork and they're checking their phones. So kind of think about that. And then after, when the kids go to bed, are also a really good time. So maybe if you're setting things up, maybe you'll want to stagger it. So maybe one day you'll do one at 6 a.m. Maybe the next day you'll do one at 11. Maybe the next day you'll do one at 8 p.m. Just kind of stagger it and see if you see any difference. Anybody else? No? All right, guys. Well, make sure you guys connect with me on, definitely Instagram, but you can follow me on Facebook as well. And let us know if there's any other questions that you have. And I'm going to, when we get off here, I'm going to go ahead and upload this so you guys will have the replay if you want to go back and look at anything else again. Okay?
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, bye.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.